so a net gain of 1 there. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. Pulled in at the 24. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Taking it right down Broadway. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. A big play there just before halftime.
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
He'll get this out wide to Eckler. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll have time for 1 play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll throw now on the final play. And incomplete on the deep ball. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the 2nd half. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Third quarter starts with a run from Gainwell. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They're going to try and throw. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 40 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Herbert on 1st down now, eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jannard Avery, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Another try after the 1st down sack. Herbert buying time to his left. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the pick-6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down. On Herbert, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
2nd down and goal. Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles take advantage of good field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And Roberts choosing not to bring this one out. The Charger drive about to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Herbert now escaping the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game's slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of
touchdown, Allen! Keenan Allen, 33 yards. And the Chargers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
And the formula there on the 2-point try to go 5 wide. Not even the option to hand the ball off. They got it.
They tried to create space, and there isn't a whole lot of it there. For the defense, what you're trying to do is make sure that if they're going to catch the ball, make them catch it behind you because they run out of space with the back line. But in this case, the offense figured it out.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. It's a squibber picked up around the 27. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the break, aren't they?
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with this 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run for it with Gainwell. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. This is swung out to Eckler. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it a 2nd down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, 37 yards. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Hopkins with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Hurts. And the ball is knocked out and picked up by the Chargers. And they are going to score on a fumble return. Touchdown, LA. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expecting to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Now back to throw. He's got Smith here. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts, pass complete, Goddard, and he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
That's exactly what they were looking for. If they get another gain like that, they'll be right there in field goal range.
And the tension building. On 1st and 10, it's Gainwell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. He'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Flushed out right. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Flush to his right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He finds his man, complete. It's Watkins. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Right now, everything resting on the right foot of Jake Elliott. His first attempt of the afternoon, and it's for the win. And that is no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Charger drive about to get going. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
What I would do is either hand it...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 38. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And they will play it safe here and bring this one out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Set for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team. And that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
And it's been loud in here so far. Smith with a first down and more. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. on first down, Hurts. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
To throw again on second down. Hurts. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear the silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. They'll look to throw again. And that is incomplete. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's fourth and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on fourth down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on fourth. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position. Running on first down, Eckler. 58 yards rushing for him now as he is just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Eckler going to get it again on second down. And he gets it down to the 32. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Now Herbert with his first throw in OT. That'll be taken in by Anderson. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's second down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He'll drop this one off to Eckler. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A great come-from-behind victory in this one, Charles.
They have no chance of making it back. Not in the one we just saw here. They did it, and they did it well.